How much do you love teaching music? How can you amplify the heartbeat of music lessons for your students? Welcome, music maestros and pedagogical pioneers. I'm Gloria St. Germain, your host for today's Ultimate Music Teachers Live Show, where we explore ways to enrich lives through music education. And with Valentine's Day just around the corner, we're here to share some heartwarming ideas to amplify the heartbeat of your music lessons.
And hello, everybody. My name is Joanne Barker. I am the co-host for this exciting episode. Let's dive into the rhythm of love and music and discover how we can make February a month to remember in our teaching studios.
Absolutely, Joanne. And remember that you can find all the resources that we discussed today, from Valentine's games to themed worksheets, at teachumt.com. So now let's get started. So let's talk about our musical ideas. So idea number one is musical love letters. Ooh, encourage your students to compose short, simple melodies dedicated to someone that they care about. It's a beautiful way to express emotions musically.
You know, I love that, Gloria. And as you said that, a memory just popped into my mind. One young girl tragically lost her uncle. And when we were doing composition class that year, she wanted to compose a piece for him. What a beautiful tribute to her uncle. And it was this emotional time for her that she felt she was connecting with him. At a lesson this week, one of the students said over Christmas, she played a concert for her family. She didn't have a gift. She didn't have money to go spend on a presents. So she gave them the gift of music. So music is the language of the heart. So imagine the joy of that parent, the joy of that family who'd lost a family member, and the joy of the family members who got a concert from the other student to receive such a personal music gift.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that idea, Joanne. And, you know, teachers, this is a question for teachers. And the question is, you know, how would you implement this into your studio? What ideas can you come up with? You know, I want you to share your thoughts in the chat with us. Like, what musical composition ideas can you share in this heartfelt month of February? And, you know, we need to really spread the musical love, right, Joanne?
Oh, I agree. And it's so much fun to do so. And it's such a gift. Music really touches the emotions of people. So, you know, maybe a beginner student's just going to play a little C pentascale with purpose and emotion. And that would be the gift. So teachers, you must have some great ideas out there. So please share with us what your ideas are for making music the language of love.
Absolutely. And, you know, another idea when we're talking about this is maybe they want to take a familiar tune and change the words and just write the lyrics. So there's lots of different ways to express our love through music, either writing our words or maybe, you know, taking a poem and putting it to music, or taking music and writing words, or composing everything. And, you know, for our ultimate music teachers that are watching today, who could you write a musical love letter to? You personally. I'm really challenging you. You know, Joanne's a composer, and you know, I've composed a few pieces for our Ultimate Music Theory workbook series. But you know, drop your answers in the comments here and share this really heartwarming ideas with other teachers and with other music students, so that they can write their musical love letters.
It's something that other people are going to treasure for years to come. You know, it's such a gift to give them something unique and special, and something that only you can give them. So,
yes.
And no composition is wrong, right? There's nothing wrong in the world of composing. So, or maybe it's even taking a piece of music you already play and playing it different. I remember watching Doogie Howser years ago, and the mom said, you know that song, "Do You Love Me?" Only she played it as a love song. Instead of a rock and roll kind of fancy, you know, fast piece, she played it slow and loving. Like, so you can take a piece of music you already know, and maybe it's a Chopin nocturne, and just, you know, changing it up a little bit. Or maybe it's, you know, a simple little, like I said, a simple little scale piece, and just playing it with the different whole, you know, it's a great way to discuss, you know, dynamics and the different terms and stuff, right? You could play it allegando, or you could play it a little bit of rubato. There's so many things you can do. So, Gloria, let's move on here. What's the next heartbeat you've got for us today?
Yes, you're giving me good heartbeats today. I mean, you know, music is the language of love. And the next up is the Valentine's games. Now, these games are all about decoding music theory concepts to reveal Valentine answers. So it's a fun and educational way to engage with learning music theory. And all of this is inside the it's teachumt.com. That's the Ultimate Music Teachers Membership. And it's really a fun and educational way to engage your students. So, Joanne, can you share a little more about the gamification creations?
Yes, it's a perfect blend of learning and celebrating the season. It's a great group activity for encouraging collaboration. Valentine's Day, I'm here, I don't know about other parts of the world, we have a holiday on the 19th of February, which is right around Valentine's Day. So I usually plan, because that's a Monday, I usually plan to have mini recitals and have students come to another class that week. So it's a perfect time to get the Valentine's games out and play them with students, it's a review, but kids think it's a game, right? Think about playing Trivial Pursuit, or think about playing, Jeopardy on TV, as you often have mentioned, Glory. Like, all adults love playing games. Everybody loves games. Think about Jeopardy for a minute. It's really just a recall thing, like a history thing, a science thing. It's really just a test, but It's called a game. So if you can have fun, there's just so much fun you can do. And for February in the membership, I'm really excited about February. There's such an assortment. It's got Valentine themed games as well as some Sola Sparkles games. Remember those terms and things I was talking about?
Yes.
That's what Sola Sparkles are all about. So the whole month has a variety of games and activities. It's not all just Valentine's. There's a total of 10 online games and activities, plus there's 7 different levels of printable games. That's quite a collection to help you fill up your classes and keep your students engaged. And let's face it, February can be a little February. Another day that, 30 days has September, and February can have 29, and January is 1,627 days. So we need things to keep our students and ourselves inspired and engaged in what we're doing.
Yeah, absolutely, Joanne. And, when we think about this is just February, and when we want to, I think one of the great things and what I love about our Ultimate Music Teachers membership is obviously the community of educators who are always brainstorming with us. What can be activities that you can use in teaching that are going to save you time? And I'm not talking about 5 minutes, I'm talking about hours of time. What ideas can you use so that your students keep coming back? Sometimes you think, where can I find students? And, what can I do to keep my students engaged? Or, how come they don't show up or they miss a lot of lessons? It's about teaching a great lesson. And it's about having the resources to make it fun for you as a teacher. And one of the things that I'm excited about, because we love creating and sharing things inside, is that you can grab all of these. And again, there's 10 of them for February. So teachumt.com is where you can go to get all of this. So teachers, question for you. How would you adapt, games for different age groups or skill levels? What does that look like for you? Because sometimes you might think, as Joanne said, that maybe you think, games are just for little kids, but 90% of the game shows on TV, if not 99% of the game shows, are all for adults. Mm-hmm. We think of going to the casino and playing the slot machines or playing cards or anything else. It's always worth thinking, games are for kids, but no, games are for adults. So no matter what age group you're teaching, we got you covered. So can you share a little more with us, Joanne?
Sure. One of the games is like note naming, right? And it's a very simple thing. Actually, I'll show you on the back of here. See on the back of here, this is one of the simple little games. It's actually included in the membership as well. And I'll explain what this is in a minute. But this is note names, right? So maybe for a very young student, they might not know all the note names yet. You could ask them, is that a line or a space? For a little bit older student, they're going to tell you what the piano key number is. For a little bit older student, you might pick D in the bass clef and say, what's a perfect fifth above that? Mm-hmm. How would you build a chord on D? How would you make a D major chord? How would you make a D minor chord? For advanced rudiments, how would you make a D diminished chord? So there's so many more things. It's not just it's not just like playing Monopoly and that's how you play it. There's so many more ways you can play any simple game. A simple rhythm game, can be done with play it on the piano for an older student, or like play your scale using this rhythm. For some of them, in the Sola Sparkles games, they're a matching game. So you could have the student, match up the terms and then choose the perfect term. play their scale using that term, and have everybody else, if you're doing group like I do, have everybody else try to figure out what term are they showing me. And if you're doing it on a one-on-one thing, same thing. You could play using one of the terms off Sola Sparkles and have the student try to figure out which term you're playing. It's ear training, it's learning terms, there's just so much more to it. And it's a little bit of sight reading for those students who might not have practiced last week too.
Mm-hmm. So good, Joanne. And, you know, when we're thinking about our music teachers, a question again, and I love it that we're sharing all of these ideas in the chat, is what would be something that maybe would be a rhythmic pattern that you would want to use in your teaching studio? What would maybe be one of the games that you said, and I'd love to hear from our members as well. Like, what are some of the things that you're using in your class that your students can we play that again? Or, oh my goodness, is music theory class over already? Because things are going so quickly. And we also want to think about what other activities can we do that are really going to engage our students and make Valentine's, you know, and Heart Month, as we say, really heartfelt, because it really is all about these amazing ideas, Joanne. And thanks for creating all these brilliant games. I love it.
Well, and I'm really delighted to have a place where I can share my ideas. You know, that there's such an affirmation in knowing that what I've created is helping not just my students, but other people's students around the world as well. It's just so cool to see a post on Facebook pop up and see one of my games being used in Singapore. It's pretty fantastic. You know, music is the universal language, and it's the universal language of love, isn't it? Yeah. There's so many endless possibilities, and it's such a great way. You know, you can create so many challenges for your students. I had one class that was, shall we say, a little more challenging to manage. So we played 5 in a game. So what's 5 in a game? We had to do 5 activities, and then we got to play a game. You've never seen kids focus so much on doing their scales, and then they had to do their chords, and then they had to do a note naming thing, and then they had to do something with tempo, and then they got to play a game. And then escape. What are the next 5 things? And they did them well. So there's so many ways you can take the games, use them as rewards, use them as review, use them for those times when, you know, kids come in and if they're sitting all down slumped like this and not feeling really excited about their world, sometimes that game is just what they need to lift them back up again.
100%. Yeah.
So I'm curious to know, Gloria, what's your final idea today?
All right, Joanne. Our final idea, number 3, and this is a good one. It is hosting a heartfelt performance day and concluding with presenting your students with a Valentine card. So invite your students to perform pieces that they love or that evoke love. It might be some of their own composition. It might be some of the songs that they love to play. It could be anything from romantic classical piece to a song from their favorite movie or, you know, their favorite artist, and present them with their own Valentine card. This is just a little thank you gift for their performance. So what's included in the card, Joanne?
Well, I've created 3 different levels of these cards, and the front all look like this. It says Happy Valentine's Day, and you've got little Miss Sola and Tito sitting playing the grand piano. And then if you look inside, it's got, first this one has got to check the glasses. This has got the terms where they would connect the term on the outside to the matching meaning inside. Then we have a little rhythm activity talking about time signatures. And then on the back is that game about matching the note names. You'd start at the bottom and work your way up. And you'll notice when you travel across here, it lines up perfectly with the staff, which is really exciting. So these are great little things. I know we might want to give them a little chocolate or, you know, a little gift like that. But if they're online students, that little chocolate's kind of hard to send in the mail. So what I do, because I do have several hybrid classes where I have students in class and in person and online at the same time, everybody gets a card emailed to them so they can print them off at home, which is really great. And they love playing these cards. They had one for Christmas. I actually made little booklets for them this year, and they're always pulling those cards out and practicing them. And it is practice, right? It's practice. This is, you're going to say, go home and study your terms. No, you're not. You're going to give them this, and here's how they're going to study their terms. So there's just so many ways you can use these little things, and they're not expensive to print off. The work's done for you. They're already done. I send mine off to the local printer and get them to, you know, print me off 50 cards at a time. Fabulous little gifts. And if they stay in the student's music bag, that's okay, because they're going to be in there to pull out again. Chocolate gets kind of messy if it stays in their bags, doesn't it?
Yeah. And I think one of the great things too about the games is that you can play it more than once. It's not one and done. It's something that they can play at home with their parents. They can play it, within the music class itself, and they can just do a quick review when they're practicing.
Got a tip for you on that one, Gloria. If you put this inside a page protector,
right?
You know those plastic page protectors, and then you take the dry erase marker. You can write on the page protector and match it up, and then rub it off and do it again.
Yeah.
So that's a really good tip for doing it at multiple use, because if they do it the first time and draw the lines, they've already done it. But if they build it with a page protector, then it's multiple. One year I bought these, looked forever searching for these things so I could, have a special sleeve to put games into. And I spent, I don't know, $5 or $6 per student. And then I figured out that you could just use a page protector.
Right.
So that's a really good tip for making games. And of course, it'll not get damaged in the music bags either, will it?
Right, because they can just stick it in their binder and they have it for forever. It's such a great idea. Thank you so much, Joanne. And when I'm thinking about, teachers, how would you organize a heartfelt performance day in your studio? Please share your plans with us. Share in the chat. We're curious. Would you invite students to wear red like Joanne and I? Would you invite students to maybe share the love and do something Valentine-y? Let's really think, let's throw away the box and let's think outside the box. And what are you going to come up with? I'm challenging you, music teachers. A heartfelt performance day in your studio. Share with us in the chat your plans, because we're curious. We love to learn too, right, Joanne?
Well, you've really got me thinking. What just popped into my head is, this is a good time of year to start thinking about new students for the fall. Why not have that performance class be when they can do kind of like a bring a friend to class, a friend who's interested in music lessons, or who might not be interested in music lessons because they don't know they are interested yet, and invite them to come to class with the student. Even if you're doing private lessons, you can do it. If you're doing group lessons, you can do it, right? And as I mentioned earlier, because we have a holiday on the Monday after Valentine's Day, I have my performance classes that week, and then everybody gets a chance. For one thing, they get a chance to go to the church where we hold our recitals and play on the piano there. So that's really special, right? And it makes it just that much more exciting when they're playing in a different venue. But you can do it right in your studio, be that your home or wherever you're teaching. There's just tons of ideas, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what teachers can share with us, what they think they could do at the performance day. And it's also a good opportunity, to kind of get a little practice for performing at a recital. It's kind of like a master class, but we're not going to call it that.
Yeah, absolutely. And another thing too is when you are deciding, about sharing the love, remember that there are many old folks' homes that don't always have an opportunity to, get out to see a recital. And why not go to those venues? I know there's many locally here. My students have performed many times at care homes. They very often have a piano, and if they don't, I just bring a keyboard, or you can easily bring your guitars or your violins or whatever it might be. But just remember to share the love, to maybe perform for those that can't get out. And, it's just one more place when we're thinking about what can we do, right, to share the love. And to our Ultimate Music Teacher viewers, I have a question for you as well. And that is, what song speaks to your heart? I'd love to know. Maybe we can fill up a playlist with love. So share in the chat. What is your favorite, playlist or your favorite love song? What do you think, Joanne?
Oh boy, there's so many, right? Right now, my favorite, I think, is Imagine.
Oh.
I'm just enjoying playing that. It just makes my heart happy. Yeah. Anyways, I want to thank, don't forget to check out the Ultimate Music Teachers membership at teachumt.com, and you can get access immediately to the treasure trove of resources. You can get in there right now, and it's beginning of February. You'll be able to get all the stuff for February. I think the January stuff might still be there, so you can get in on that too. You'll get in on our wonderful coaching calls and meet the teachers in the community. Talk about spreading the love. That's what happens in that group, that's for sure. And we need to remember that music isn't just about notes and rhythms. It's about connecting hearts and sharing our love of music with our students. We want to grow our studios. Yes, we're a business. Yes, we want students. But didn't we start in this business because we love music ourselves and we want to share that love with other people and the world Well, like the song says, what the world needs now is love, sweet love. Isn't that true?
Yes. So true, Joanne. You always make me smile and you always fill my heart with love. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you for joining us today on this journey of musical affection and innovation. Remember, music isn't just about the notes and the rhythms. It's about connecting hearts and sharing our love of music with our students. So until next time, keep spreading the love through music. Visit teachumt.com and let's continue enriching lives together. We are sending you heartfelt love and appreciation. Till next time, teach with passion.